Hey friends, I'm Amber, and I wanted to walk you through the Dream and Do Social Dream and Do social media self-evaluation. This is something that's been really helpful for me, and I did it with a group like Zoom I was a part of, and everybody found it very eye-opening and helpful. So I wanted to share with whoever this might help. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see the self-evaluation. And if you don't have this, it's part of the May Dream and Do Social email. So I'll make sure to include that link so that you have this, but you'll get this template so that you can use it, or it's a PDF actually. So the first thing I want you to think about is, as you're going through this, one, you're not judging yourself, okay? Judging yourself and being like, oh, I suck at this, or oh, I should have done this. Like, don't should yourself. That's not going to help anything. It's actually probably going to just make you feel cruddy and have you be less likely to actually work on this. So I want you to do this in a way that is very like detached. I want you to just look at things, count things, and then make a plan for the future. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to count your total posts in the previous month. You can decide if you want to do this on Instagram or Facebook, or if you do TikTok. Instagram and Facebook are what I use, or if you want to do both of them, you could do two separate ones, one for each. But you're just going to count the total posts in the previous month. So it doesn't matter what they were about, you're counting them. Then you're going to count the total Young Living product posts in the previous month. You want to stick with the same thing. So if you're like, I'm just going to do this for Instagram, you're going to do all of this just for Instagram. Count the total business or community posts in the previous month. Count the total stories in the previous month, and then count the total Young Living product stories in the previous month. To be really honest with the stories piece, that could take a lot of time. So maybe set a timer for like a minute and do as much counting as you can. And same thing for the last one, count the total business or community stories in the previous month. Set a minute for each of those. Just so you can kind of quickly just see. And this is just gathering information. Again, this is not you beating yourself up or being like, oh, I missed this whole entire week. Like, don't worry about that. We're going to use this information to inform us of how we've been doing, and then to make a plan to improve. So the first question is, do the amount of posts or stories you have about the Young Living products match your business goals? So for example, if one of your goals is to enroll 3 people, but you didn't share about the Young Living products at all, that wouldn't match, right? Like, those two things don't go together. If you're wanting to enroll people, but you didn't share about the products, then clearly that doesn't match. You can write as much or as little as you want there. Again, this is just for you. So write whatever you want there. Do the amount of posts you have about the Young Living business or community match your business goals? So if you're wanting to grow like an entire rank, or you're wanting to really increase your OGB, a lot of times the best way to do that is to be helping brand partners to get started, because every time you have a new brand partner start, the sphere of influence, the network of your team expands. So you might be enrolling, and you've enrolled all these people, but nobody's doing the business. This question right here may be a hint as to why. If you're not talking about the business, if you're not promoting it, if you're not sharing about it, like the community you love and all of that, how are people going to know that they want to do it? So the next one, how many times, so this part, so that's kind of the review of what you've done so far. The next 2 parts are going forward. How many times will you post about Young Living products this coming month? So think about, we're in May, it's May 2nd. So how many times? What is your goal? What oils or products will you share about? What problems will you focus on solving? So sometimes I think I've fallen into this trap where I think I need to share about everything. I need to share about so many different things. And the truth is, pick 5 hero products. Like, what are the 5 things, or it could even be a whole line, like the Thieves line or Ninja. What are the things that have really made an impact in your life? And tell that story again and again and again. Like, I love Ninja. I make like a special Ninja drink for myself. I share about that in my stories all the time. I recently did a reel about it. So I try to share at least, I mean, multiple times a week. And it can feel like, oh, I just shared this. They're going to be so annoyed, or, those might be the thoughts that your brain is offering you. But I want you to consider, one, most people aren't seeing everything you do. And two, it can take up to like 21 times for someone to see something before they actually purchase. So if you are letting your mind tell you, you just shared about that, or you're sharing about this too much, you could actually be stopping yourself from helping someone who actually needs that, but they needed to see it one more time from you. And then the next question is, how many times will you post about the Young Living business opportunity and or community in the next month? What do you love about your business community? What problems can it solve? So here you're going to be like, you're kind of brainstorming on this sheet. So when it comes time to do that post about the Young Living business or community, you know what to say. You're not going to listen to your brain that's like, oh, we shouldn't talk about this. People are going to think I'm salesy. Fill in the blank of what your brain tells you. By planning for it, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to actually do it, whether it's you're sharing it in a story or you're sharing it as a post. I do think most of the people I talk to watch stories. Like, stories is where it's at. The only thing about stories is, remember, it's a 24-hour lifespan. The story from when you posted, it has 24 hours. And usually if I am like looking for a new account to follow, I don't go to their stories. I actually go to their feed and I look at I take like 1 second to glance at what they have. And that's how I make my decision. Is this somebody who I connect with? Is it someone I can learn from? Is it someone, whatever I think of to follow someone? So as much as it's great if you're doing these in stories, because that's where you're like nurturing the audience you do have, and you're helping them feel connected to you and to know what life is like for you. It is also important to be sharing posts about that, so someone new can easily see what you're about. They can see how much you love your team community. They can see your favorite products right there and decide if that's for them or not too. So I hope that that's helpful. If you have any questions, please ask. And then at the bottom of this, I just have a little, what's it called? Like a hyperlink. It says, if you're struggling with content, maybe you're struggling with, I don't even know what to post about, or I don't know how to make something like, I have Dream and Do Essentials, which is a membership. You can choose a yearly or a monthly membership. And it has a ton of pre-made content for Young Living brand partners. So there's things that explain subscribe to save. There are things that explain that go through the rank requirements. There are things that are like quote templates or recipe templates, or every month we have gift with purchase templates. So you don't have to spend your time doing those things, like making because graphics can take a really long time to make. You can spend your time building relationships and actually thinking through things like this, where it is your thinking through your strategy for the month. And then those resources are there to make it really simple for you to be able to share. So I hope that this was helpful. Again, we are not using this to beat ourselves up. We are using this to take a look at, if we're like, I'm doing all the things and it's just not working for me. For me, this was an eye opener. The first month that I did it for myself, I was like, oh, I thought I was doing all the things, and really I was doing a lot of things, but not the things that are going to grow my business and help more people. So I hope that this was helpful, and I look forward to hearing from you.